Oh, hi! It's the weekend. Time for a twofer. So, um, last week we started 2026 with SH Figuarts Guts from Berserk. But this time we're gonna be doing a different genre now. We're gonna be going into music. Now, how did this start? Well, because one of my friends in Dubai, Arlan, thank you, Arlan, sent this over and finally got the figure. And this is a Freddie Mercury figure from the Live Aid version. And that got me thinking, oh, I do have some music SH Figuarts figures. And unfortunately, no, not really unfortunately, but we'll be tackling him next week because we will be starting out with another music figure since this is actually one of my first SH Figuarts figures ever. One of the first figures I've ever bought. And it is similar to Freddie Mercury because he is also Freddie Mercury, but a different version. This is the first Freddie Mercury figure that was created by SH Figuarts. It is the Wembly Stadium version of Freddie Mercury. So we're gonna be opening our music series with Freddie Mercury. So we got two. So this will be for spoiler alert. This will be for next week. So we're gonna be starting out with the Freddie Mercury Wembley Stadium version. So this is one of his more iconic performances, one of his more iconic outfits, and this is actually one of the first SH Figuarts figures that I've ever bought. And let's open them up. I totally almost forgot about this, but I do have. This is gonna be the start of our music series. So, it's not just Freddie Mercury. I still have one more, but that I won't spoil. So, product pick. So we've got Freddie Mercury here. Oh yeah, I forgot. Freddie Mercury is posing, his pose. Then you also have product pictures in the back as well. So the open version is that this is it. Okay, so if you're gonna be talking about value, what is value for me? My definition for at least for SH Figuarts value is anything beyond faceplates and hands. And we do have it. We do have a mic, which is already not in its place, and his iconic mic stand. So let's open him up again. Now, honestly, I started SH Figuarts really with these figures because I like music. I like music figures, and it's very rare to have music figures being made. Figures itself being made for musicians, since most of them are albums, merch, T-shirts, and it's very rare for action figures. That's also the reason why, as an action figure collector, I'm a big fan of the music figures. That's why I went into Funko. One of my favorite Funko figures are the Police from the band Police. So this is Freddie Mercury in his Wembley Stadium performance. So he's got that iconic yellow jacket, white pants, and it's even have the stripes for the shoes. So this is him in the performance. Now, some things. This figure is already more than 10 years old. Right? So, I believe I got this figure around. No, not really 10 years old. Around I think it's around. Yeah, it's almost 10 years old. Yes. So there's some articulation differences. What articulation differences? His arms. So usually now SH Figuarts has would have this swivel for the arms, but this is not yet. This is still the older version wherein this part of the arms, the biceps, are still in one piece. That's the one big difference in terms of articulation, but the rest it's still standard SH Figuarts awesomeness. Now, also for also one another thing different with him is that instead of having faceplates, oops, sorry, so falling again. Instead of having faceplates, you get a whole head instead. So let's pose him up as let's pose him as Freddie Mercury, as I would pose Freddie Mercury to have more balance. So there you go. If you'd like to have him going around, let's do our base. So there you go. It works! Yes, thank you very much. Mwah. So instead of just a faceplate, it's a total head, right? So at that end, it works, right? It works better. You just don't have to disassemble the head anymore, and then you can just put in a new head for now. What are those heads? So right now you have him doing as well two singing heads. One is in like singing, I guess, louder, and then there's him singing, and the normal Freddie Mercury normal head. So you have that. Now in terms of accessories, he has got two. One is the mic, a normal microphone, and the iconic Freddie Mercury mic stand. So it's a mic stand without a stand. So basically just holding them. So he has the same thing also. Now, what's so special about this? Well, it's Freddie Mercury. I mean, one of the most iconic vocalists in rock or in music in general. So, I would say that it's the music in itself. It's very poseable with SH Figuarts being, with SH Figuarts, it's very poseable. So like you can pose him up, and even with the singing, with him singing. So this is it's a great figure if you like to pose him, especially if you have a diorama where you want him to be singing. So there, I mean, articulation, it's perfect for posing. You can make him dynamically pose. You can dynamically pose him, especially for singing, right? So that's one thing. Detail is amazing because they even put in the stripes for his outfit. The jacket is very detailed, right? And the face is very accurate. So that's also one thing, because most of my SH Figuarts are actually are more like for anime, and some movie figures aren't as accurate, but they really made them this accurate, and I would say that it is also one of the better designs they've ever made. And it's just sad that they don't really have much. I guess it's the IP for some artists, but this is one of the first figures I've ever had. First SH Figuarts figures I've ever had, and this is still one of my favorite figures. And as you can see, he can make those iconic poses, and definitely a great buy if you can still find it. It's been a long time for this. Actually, the Live Aid version is easier to find because it's newer, but then again, it's also still harder because it's Freddie Mercury. So if you're a fan of music, a fan of great figures, fan of Queen, fan of Freddie Mercury, this is definitely a great buy.